Hi class, welcome to Chapter 13 of Mutual Funds. This will be a very quick slide presentation. Okay. Here we go over, going back, other service providers. Okay. Other services. There are other organizations that provide integral support for the mutual fund industry. Half all mutual funds utilize third-party services. So what does that mean? Basically that not every mutual fund company does everything in-house. They don't all print all their books inside the house, all their marketing materials. That might be done by an outside provider. Custodial services, as we've talked about, could be done by a third-party provider a lot more efficiently than a small bank or a small investment management firm of 15, 20 people. Okay, this chapter covers the 5 most common functions that are most likely to be outsourced by a firm. Okay. First is printing services. So transfer agents print a variety of internal and external documents. Majority of printing comes all at once, quarter end, year end, making it more feasible for outsourcing. So what it's saying right there is that all your printing and the majority of your work happens all at once, and there's long periods of quiet time. Okay. Larger firms will do their printing internally. Outsourcing occurs because of special equipment and volume spikes. So the most recent firm I worked at, they had about 200 people, and they did their books internally, and most of their marketing materials were done internally, except for very fancy booklets and stuff like that. Those were done externally, but our general marketing books were done in-house. Okay. Literature fulfillment. So this is going back to what I just said, almost the same process, right? The process to capture requests for information, literature that you would send along to prospects and clients. This could be your prospectus, right? The service provider must be capable of receiving and storing inventory, must be capable of receiving requests through a variety of technologies, must be capable of shipping. They must have proper inventory controls. The literature fulfillment provider will inform the fund of interest spikes in a particular product. Okay. Proxy solicitation and processing. Proxies are the votes that you get on a stock. Mutual funds must submit a series of questions for their shareholders to vote on. Process works much like an election, except that it's not one person, one vote. It's one stock, one vote. So you can really buy the vote in these cases if you have enough stock. Okay. Many shareholders ignore proxy vote requests, just like most people don't vote, right? So fund managers can hire proxy solicitors to increase voting. These people kind of drum up campaigns for these stock issues, or attempt to get people to vote on certain stuff. Unclaimed property, pretty straightforward. Unclaimed property for our purposes refers to escheatment. Okay, unclaimed property trackers assist transfer agents in their due diligence to search for lost accounts. Lost property includes mutual funds, and it's regulated at a state level, so the laws differ from state to state. Unclaimed property trackers make a high percentage of assets if they find the owner. So there's almost like a built-in reward, all right, we're going to dispose of this asset, but if you can find the owner, you get to keep 20%, something along those lines. Okay, lockbox, process of collecting checks and processing them into a correct account. All sorts of companies use lockbox as a form of bill payment. Transfer agents will supply pre-addressed envelopes for the client. This is very similar to getting a P.O. box and setting a payment there. That's very much like a lockbox. Okay, and that's it for this chapter.